Good morning, children. Now we go to see the unit 14, the transport of transportation in plants and circulation in animals. So you know that multicellular organisms of millions of cells in their body, each and every cells need a food and energy for the survival. So in these cells, how they get the energy, so it's a wonder how the plants will be get plant cells will be get the energy, how the root will be absorb the water that will be transport to the tip of the plant leaves. These are the wandering things. So these wandering things will be happen in a plant with help of method of a transportation. In the animals, each and every cells want to get energy, so we are eating a food, all that we are getting oxygen for respiration process. These will be taken by blood vessels and transport to one place to another place. So in this process called as a circulation. So in a plant it is a transportation, in the animal the transport of energy, in the we are using the term, it is called circulation. So in this lesson we are seeing how that water, minerals, all the energy molecules to pass one place to another place, part of the one part to another part of the plants, and one cell to another cell of the plants and animals. All the things we are seeing in this lesson. So first we go to means of transport in a plants. So the transport of a material in and out of the cell is carried out by the diffusion and active transport in a plant. So what is called diffusion? Simply the movement of the molecules in a liquid and the molecules in the liquids and solids from region of higher concentration to the lower concentration without utilizing energy, it is called diffusion. So no energy to help to move one molecule to one molecule. You see in this picture. So how the diffusion is taking place. So in this first cell, the molecules are present outer side. In the first cell, the molecules are present in the outer side. In the second structure, second diagram, the molecules are entered into inside of the cell. So without help, without energy, simply the molecules move one outer side to inner side of the cell. It is called as a diffusion. It is called as a diffusion. Next we go to active transport. So active transport means utilizing energy to pump molecules against a concentration gradient. So the lower to higher. Simply you are seeing how the water is coming upper side. So the bore is present down, but water is going to the upper side of the roof. So in a house. So the same like the molecules are moving from concentrated area to this region with help of some energy. So it is called as a active transport. So these protein that means active transport is carried out by the membrane bounded proteins. So these proteins use energy to carry a substance across the cell membrane, hence they are referred to as a pumps. So these pumps can be transport substance from lower concentration to the higher concentration. It is called the uphill transport. But a diffusion higher to that means diffusion, the lower concentration without releasing energy, they are moving. Higher concentration to lower concentration, and the ups and down opposite side, that means higher to lower. So this is happen. So it's called as a active transport method. So next we go to osmosis. Osmosis will mean movement of solvents, that mean what or water molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. This process is carried out till the an equilibrium reached. What is equilibrium? The molecules are equal in both sides. outside of the cell and inside of the cell the molecular concentration is equal. In this type, this is called as a equilibrium. So till the reaching equilibrium, the molecules are moving from outside to inside. It is called as osmosis. That means osmosis is the passive movement of water or any other solvent molecules. So here we are seeing plasmolysis, that is occurring when water move out of the cell and resulting to shrink the cell membrane away from the cell wall. It is called as a plasmolysis. See this diagram. So the normal plant cell, how that is present. Next you see that plasmolysis plant cell is present. So the water molecules are coming outside the cell wall. So automatically it will be shrink. The inside that the cell wall is same, but inside the cytoplasm will be shrink. It is called as a plasmolysis. So next we go to imbibition. So imbibition means it's type of diffusion in which solid absorb the water and gets swelled up. So a good example, when you take seeds, any seeds, dry seeds, so you put in a water, automatically it will be enlarged. That means inside the water seed, the water molecules are enter and it will be enlarged. So what is the diffusion of difference between plasmolysis and imbibition means? So inside that cell, the water molecule will be reduced. It is called as a plasmolysis. Imbibition means the inside the cell the water molecules will enter and it will be start to swallow. That means enlarged. It is called as a imbibition. So next we go to root air water absorbing unit. So how the root air will be absorb the water. So you see here millions of root hairs are in the tip of the root. So in this air, root air absorb water and mineral by the process of diffusion. Diffusion means simply without the help of energy, the lower concentration, the higher concentration to the lower concentration molecules are moved. It is called as a diffusion. In this diffusion method, the water molecules are enter into the root air. So next we go to pathway of water absorbing by root. So how the root air molecules are entering. So in this diagram, so this is a TS of the root. So how the movement of the water from the soil to the xylem. You are seeing the root air cells are there. So in this root air cell, the water molecules are entering. So the arrow marks are shown. So then they are enter into root cortex region. So then after it's entered into xylem vessels. So why the water molecules are entering the xylem vessels? You know, before the lesson, the xylem, what is the function of the xylem? Transport of water. So in this xylem, the water molecules are taking through the other part of the cells, stems and also the leaves. So its water molecules transport to the xylem and xylem root xylem, and through the root xylem it's entered into stem and leaves region. So this is a pathway of water absorbed by the roots. Next we go to types of the movements of waters into the root cells. There are two types of pathways. So one is called as a apoplastic pathway, another one is called as a symplastro pathway. So apoplastro pathway means the movement of water across exclusively through the intercellular space. So water is moving through the intercellular. You see this diagram. So water is moving through the intercellular space. It is called as a apoplastic. So next you see in this region, what is a symplastic means? The movement of water travel through the cell, the cytoplasm, intercellular region. So through this plasmodata, so through this region, so the water molecules are moved. So this is called as a symplastro pathway. So two type of a pathway. One is apoplastro pathway. So the water molecule, you see in this diagram green color, the water molecules are moved through the membranal region. It is called apoplastral region. Symplastro means water molecules move through the cell. It is called as a symplastro method. So what is transportation? So transpiration means evaporation of a water from the plants through the stroma in a leaves. So you already know that in a leaf, the outer region, epidermic region, somatic cells or the stroma is there. So through the stroma or stomata, what happen? The water evaporation is taking place. So when that opening and closing stomata due to these changes or in the rigidity of the guard cells, so that evaporation is taking place. So when the guard cells are lost the water, it become flaccid and the stems will the stomata will be closed. So in this diagram you see how that stomata will be open and how the stomata will be closed. So the Gurgit cells will be swollen. So after that the stomata will be open. The water molecules are moved outside, evaporate outside. The Gurgit cell will be closed. The stomata will be also closed. This is this method that transportation will be taking place. So what is the importance of transportation? The creating transportation pull for the transport of water. Then supply water for photosynthesis, transport mineral from soil to all parts of the plant, cool the surface of the leaves by evaporation, keep the cell turgid, hence maintain the shape. So these are the significant of importance of the transportation. Next we go to root pressure. So as ions from the soil are actively transported to vascular tissue of the root, the water moves along and increasing the pressure inside the xylem. The pressure is called as a root pressure. So water ionic molecules are entered into the rootal particularly in the xylem region. It creates a pressure. That is pressure is called as a root pressure. Through the with the help of the root pressure, the pushing water to smaller regions of the stem. So this pressure it pull the water molecule to the smaller region of the stem. It is called as a root pressure. So in this xylem it creating a pressure. Which is creating a pressure? The water molecule creating a pressure. It is called as a root pressure. So uptake of a mineral. So the plants depend on the minerals from the soil or nutrient requirement. All the nutrients cannot possibly absorbed by the roots. The factor that minerals are present in the soils are charged particles, the ionic particles. They cannot move across the cell membrane, and also the concentration of minerals in the soil is usually lower than the concentration of minerals in the root region. So therefore most minerals are entering the root by active absorbing. So the cytoplasm of epidemic cells. These need energy in the form of ATP. So the minerals are moved in the active transport method only. Active transport and transportation pull method only the minerals are moved. But water molecules are moved with the help of diffusion method. So translocation of minerals, mineralic ion. So the minerals are remobilized from older dying cell to younger cell. So the phenomenon can be seen in deciduous plants. So the elements like phosphorus, sulfur, nitrogen, potassium is easily mobilized, while the elements like calcium are not remobilized. Small amount of materials exchange takes place between xylem to phloem. All that minerals are not full-fledged, they are entering into the plant. Some minerals are easily entered, other minerals are remobilized in nature. So next we go to phloem. Now food synthesized where the food will be synthesized in leaves. So in these leaves the transport with the food material, that means energy will be food will be transported in through the phloem leaves. So in the all it is a area of required to or stored that food material in a phloem region. The phloem tissues are composed of sieve tube. So this sieve tube will be stored the food materials. The cytoplasmic strands passes through the pores in the sieve plant. So the phloem transport food. So what type of food? It's a sucrose type of a food. It's a source to sink. So through the phloem only, the previous lesson we already know the xylem transport water, the phloem transport food. So the food will be transported with help of a phloem region. So since the source of sink relation is variable direction of a movement in the phloem can upward or downward, that is biradiational that means two direction, upward direction also the food will be moved and lower downward direction also moved. So it's a by means both two. So two directional directional thing. What is the phloem movement? So it in contrast the movement is always called unidirectional in xylem, but xylem only the molecules are moving in one direction. So only upward direction we are seeing in a xylem. In a phloem bidirection, that means both direction. That means where the food will be produced in a leaf through the photosynthesis. So these leaves they are enter into the stem, tip of the stem, and also the food molecules are enter into the tip of the root region also. So two direction the food molecules are transport with help of a phloem. So translation, so the food it in the form of a sucrose, so translocation of a sugar, that means the mechanical translocation of sugar from source of sink through the pressure flow hypothesis. Glucose are prepared at the source photosynthesis, it's converted into sucrose. The glucose are converted photosynthesis, you know that C6H12O6 glucose only produced, they are converted into in the form of a sucrose. So the sucrose move into cambium combining cells, that is they are into the living phloem sieve tube cells. These cells through the active transport, what happened, the phloem through the phloem the hypertonic condition, that molecules will be moved. So water in the adjacent xylem moves into the phloem by the osmosis. So as osmotic pressure build up the phloem shaft, move the area to lower pressure. So by active transport, sucrose move into these cells through will utilize to store. As sugar are removed, the osmotic pressure decrease, the water moves outside to the phloem. So here the food is in the form of producing the form of a glucose through the photosynthesis, that will be converted into what, sucrose. So through the sucrose sugar molecule move to the storing the sieve tube of phloem, and also it is moved in this phloem region, one part to another part. So we stopped here. So in this lesson we started transportation of a plant, how the molecules, water molecules and minerals are moving from tip of the plant. Thank you. How the move in the tip of the plant. So how the molecules are, minerals are moving with help of a diffusion method, waters are moving with help of diffusion method, and the minerals are moving with help of a active transport method. All these are seen in this chapter. So thank you. We continue the next chapter in that means next part circulation in a next class. Thank you, children.